So this morning we have a story about 6 individuals who were denied boarding on a Royal Caribbean ship because they did not meet the pre-cruise requirements. So here is the question though. Is it their fault or is it Royal Caribbean's fault? Because they're going to tell you it's Royal Caribbean's fault. Chris with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. So yes, we had an Alaskan cruise leaving here this weekend, going from Seattle to Alaska. 6 individuals were scheduled to get on this Royal Caribbean ship. However, when they showed up at the cruise port, they were denied boarding. And why were they denied boarding? Because they were unvaccinated passengers. According to them, Royal Caribbean never told them that they had to be vaccinated. They only were told them that they had to have a COVID-19 test done 72 hours prior to sailing. And that once they got there and were denied boarding, Royal Caribbean no longer wanted to help them out and seemed to have no interest in taking care of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I do feel sympathy for people who save up and wait to go on a cruise or any type of vacation and something happens at the last minute and you can't take that vacation. I feel for them. I do. Honestly. However, to say that Royal Caribbean didn't tell us and it's Royal Caribbean's fault, that is just a bit of a stretch. 1. If you go on Royal Caribbean's website, you go to their cruise protocols page, you put in the cruise port that you are departing from, in this case it was Seattle, and the very thing on the top of the list is vaccination requirement. All passengers who are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine must have it. So that extra 5% that is available on the cruise ship is for children under the age of 12 who cannot get the vaccine. But all eligible adults are required to get it. Boom. It is right there on the website. 2. Anytime the cruise lines has recently have changed a cruise protocol for individuals that are booked on a cruise, they send emails. Usually more than one. Now, while I am not currently booked on Royal Caribbean, I am currently booked on Carnival. And when the new masking policy and pre-test requirement came out, I was flooded with emails from Carnival making sure I knew that I would have to get a test prior to arriving at the cruise port. So the cruise lines do reach out and let you know these things. In my opinion, at least, it is the cruiser's responsibility to know what documentation, what steps are required before you go to the cruise port and get on that cruise ship. Look, if you show up at the cruise ship and you were supposed to have a passport and you have only your birth certificate and it says right there on the website you have to have your passport, whose fault is it? Well, it's yours because you didn't do your research, you didn't read, you didn't ask any questions. And then you're going to go down to the local news basically and start pointing fingers at somebody else. Look, I'm sorry you didn't get to go on your cruise. I feel bad you didn't get to go on your cruise because I would feel bad if I didn't get to go on mine. However, you are ultimately responsible for knowing what the health and safety protocols are on any cruise ship before you get on it. So, I will highly, highly recommend, if you have an upcoming cruise scheduled here in the next couple of weeks or months, no matter what cruise line you are going on, go to that cruise line's webpage, double check all of the protocols, make sure nothing has changed, double check your emails, make sure you read everything coming from your cruise line. That way, when you get to the cruise port, you are not surprised. And this is not even the only time it has happened here in the last week. There was an incident on board the Disney Dream where a family showed up to get on the cruise and they were denied boarding as well over a cruise protocol. So the parents were fully vaccinated and they were good. The kids were under the age of 12, so they could not even get the vaccine, but they did have to have a COVID-19 test done prior to arriving at the cruise port, and they didn't have it. So because they didn't meet the protocols prior to getting on the cruise ship, unfortunately, they were also denied boarding. So I cannot emphasize enough. Do your cruise research. Check your cruise line's websites. Make sure you know what you have to have in hand, or in this case, stuck in your arm before you get there. Not everybody falls under this exact umbrella, but pretty much right now, you need to have a COVID-19 test prior to arriving at the cruise port. You need to have proof of that. You need to have your vaccination card. You need to have your ID, whether it's your passport card, your government issued ID and birth certificate, whatever the case it is, those and your boarding passes. Those right now are the minimums that you pretty much need to get on board a cruise ship. But again, for specifics, check with your cruise line so you don't end up like these people over here did, and then you're trying to go to the news and say, Royal Caribbean screwed me over. Royal Caribbean didn't tell me that I had to be vaccinated. But again, it's plain and clear on their website. Royal Caribbean sent out emails. And guess what? Go back and check videos that this channel has done from a few weeks ago. And there is a video where we talk about that Royal Caribbean requires Seattle cruises to Alaska to be fully vaccinated. So I know the information is out there. I know it's been put out there. Other content creators have put it out there as well. It's on the website. You get an email. Honestly, while I can say I have a little bit of sympathy, I also say you have no excuse for showing up at the cruise port with the wrong stuff as a general rule. I know some of these changes came like 17 hours before some of these folks got on cruise ships. I know those people are scrambling. I know there are exceptions to every rule. I'm just talking in a full, broad, general term that, if you need to be vaccinated before you get on a ship, you need to be vaccinated. If you're trying to get one of the exceptions, you have to have it before you arrive at the cruise port. If you're getting on a Carnival cruise with an unvaccinated passenger who has not received the exemption because you didn't apply for it, you can't go to the cruise port and be mad at the cruise lines. And that's what I'm talking about. I hope you will do your cruise research and check your cruise line's website. But if you enjoyed today's video, let's give it 2 thumbs up. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you out on the high seas.